Brace yourselves, horror fans! 2025 is crawling with the scariest, spine-chilling films that'll keep you up at night. Whether you're into psychological thrillers, demonic possession, or terrifying monsters, this year has something dark and deadly just for you. Welcome to Tales of 10. I'm Manish, and today we're counting down the top 10 scariest movies you can't miss this year. Grab your popcorn, if you dare, and let's begin the countdown. Number 10. Speak No Evil. This American remake of the 2022 Danish horror film is not your average scare fest. Starring James McAvoy, it tells the story of a couple who accept an invitation to a remote country house from seemingly kind strangers they barely know. What starts as a polite weekend getaway soon unravels into something far more sinister. Beneath the surface of manners and social niceties lies a deeply unsettling reality. What makes Speak No Evil so terrifying is its psychological realism. It doesn't rely on ghosts or ghouls to frighten you. It taps into the all-too-familiar fear of second-guessing your instincts and the quiet danger of being too polite in uncomfortable situations. The film builds a slow-burning tension that seeps under your skin, leading to a finale that hits like a gut punch. If you're a fan of horror that lingers long after the credits roll, this is one you absolutely shouldn't miss. Number 9. Night Swim. Night Swim dives into fresh horror territory, literally. This supernatural thriller transforms an ordinary backyard pool into a chilling source of dread. A family moves into a new home, hoping for a fresh start, only to find their pool harbors a dark, haunting presence. Produced by horror legends James Wan and Jason Blum, the film blends eerie atmosphere with psychological tension. What makes Night Swim so unnerving is how it turns a place of relaxation into a space of fear, where every ripple feels like a threat. It taps into primal fears of isolation, the unknown, and being watched when most vulnerable, with a slow build and some truly shocking moments. This is a quiet creeper that lingers long after it ends.
Marco.
Number 8. A Quiet Place, Day 1.
Please! Please!
Set during the very beginning of the alien invasion, A Quiet Place, Day 1 rewinds the clock to reveal how the terrifying, sound-sensitive creatures first arrived on Earth. Directed by Michael Sonoski and starring Oscar winner Lupita Nyong'o, alongside Joseph Quinn, this gripping prequel delivers both suspense and soul. It's not just about survival. It's about fear, grief, connection, and the raw resilience of the human spirit in the face of overwhelming chaos. With emotionally grounded performances, heart-pounding tension, and truly terrifying sound design, the film expands the Quiet Place universe in thrilling and deeply human ways, reminding us that silence can be more deafening than noise. Number 7. The First Omen.
It's all for you. No, don't.
A terrifying prequel to the iconic 1976 classic, The Omen, The First Omen dives into the church's darkest and most long-buried secrets. Set in the haunting backdrop of Rome, it follows a young American woman who arrives for missionary work, only to uncover a disturbing truth. She may be tied to the birth of the Antichrist. As her world unravels, the line between faith and horror begins to blur. Steeped in religious symbolism and gothic atmosphere, the film builds dread through eerie visuals, haunting sound design, and strong performances. It explores themes of control, corruption, destiny, and a supernatural evil beyond comprehension. The First Omen is more than a horror prequel. It's a chilling, intelligent chapter that deepens the Omen mythology.
It's not real. It's not real. It's not real. Who said that?
Number 6. Tarot. When a group of friends unwittingly unlocks the power of an ancient, cursed tarot deck, they set off a chain of horrifying events, each triggered by a card that seals their fate. What begins as a fun, curious game quickly turns into a nightmare as supernatural entities tied to the dark symbolism of each tarot card begin to hunt them down one by one. Tarot may echo familiar horror setups, but it brings a fresh and chilling twist through its inventive creature designs. Immersive use of occult mythology and atmospheric dread. Each death is creatively and thematically tied to a card's symbolic meaning, making every encounter feel unique, intense, and disturbingly poetic. The film blends mystical lore, psychological tension, and supernatural horror, delivering more than just jump scares. It taps into primal fears about destiny, death, and the unseen forces that shape our lives. With its dark visual style, intriguing concept, and a steady build of suspense, Tarot is a captivating ride for fans of supernatural slashers with a mystical edge. Number 5. Maxine. The final chapter in T. West's acclaimed X trilogy, Maxine follows Maxine Minx as she chases stardom in 1980s Hollywood, a world where fame comes at a deadly price. As a mysterious killer stalks Los Angeles, Maxine is forced to confront the dark forces threatening her rise to the top. Blending slasher thrills with sharp commentary on celebrity obsession, Maxine explores the violent underbelly of fame. With neon-soaked cinematography, gritty 80s vibes, and a haunting atmosphere, the film is both visually striking and emotionally intense. Mia Goth shines in a mesmerizing, career-defining role, anchoring this horror noir spectacle. Stylish, suspenseful, and brutal, Maxine is a fierce and fitting finale to a groundbreaking trilogy. Number 4. Immaculate. Starring Sydney Sweeney, Immaculate tells the chilling tale of Cecilia, a devout young nun who travels to a remote convent in the Italian countryside. What begins as a spiritual calling soon spirals into a waking nightmare as she uncovers sinister rituals, disturbing secrets, and a twisted agenda hidden behind the convent's holy facade. As Cecilia grapples with terrifying revelations, Immaculate delves deep into themes of religious control, purity, and the exploitation of faith. It's a psychological and bodily horror film that channels the eerie atmosphere of Rosemary's Baby and the gothic terror of The Nun, but with a sharp feminist edge that questions power, obedience, and autonomy. Visually striking and emotionally harrowing, Immaculate is as beautiful as it is disturbing, blending sacred imagery with unholy horror to leave a lasting impression. Number 3. Heretic. Written and directed by the creators of A Quiet Place, Heretic is a chilling slow-burn thriller that takes horror in a bold, cerebral direction. Hugh Grant delivers a haunting performance as a mysterious homeowner with dark intentions, unlike any role he's played before. When two young missionaries knock on the wrong door, they're drawn into a psychological maze of manipulation, faith, and moral uncertainty. What begins as a polite conversation descends into a claustrophobic nightmare. Set mostly in one house, Heretic builds tension through sharp dialogue and an atmosphere thick with unease. It avoids cheap scares, opting instead for a creeping dread that raises disturbing questions about belief and control. This isn't your typical horror. It's an unsettling experience that lingers long after the credits roll.
Scary.
Number 2. Longlegs. Micah Monroe stars as an FBI agent drawn into a chilling investigation involving a series of gruesome murders with disturbing ties to satanic rituals. As the clues unfold, she's led down a twisted path where the line between reality and the occult begins to blur. Opposite her, Nicolas Cage delivers one of the most unsettling and haunting performances of his career, playing a figure so enigmatic and eerie. He lingers in your mind long after the film ends. Longlegs, directed by Oz Perkins, is a masterclass in atmospheric horror. With its vintage visual style, eerie cinematography, and an unnerving soundscape, the film builds a sense of dread that creeps under your skin and stays there. The pacing is deliberately slow and methodical, drawing you deeper into a terrifying descent filled with psychological tension and supernatural undertones. More than just a serial killer thriller, Longlegs explores themes of evil, control, and fate, offering a fresh blend of true crime storytelling and occult horror. It's an intense, cerebral, and deeply disturbing experience that's sure to become a cult favorite. A must-watch for fans of horror that gets inside your head.
To all of this.
Before we jump into the number 1 spot, if you're enjoying this countdown and haven't already, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more amazing movie lists, and don't forget to smash the bell icon so you never miss an update. Alright, now let's get to the number 1 movie. Number 1. The Watchers.
You have 5 seconds before the door is sealed.
Directed by Ishana Night Shyamalan, The Watchers is a haunting and atmospheric blend of folklore, suspense, and psychological horror. Set deep within an eerie, untouched forest in Western Ireland, the film follows Dakota, fanning as Mina, a young artist who becomes stranded and finds refuge in a mysterious shelter. But safety is an illusion. Each night, she and 3 strangers are observed by unseen creatures that silently watch from the darkness. As paranoia sets in and group tensions rise, The Watchers delves into primal fears, the terror of being hunted, the unease of constant surveillance, and the dread of isolation with no escape. The forest becomes a character of its own, both beautiful and terrifying, adding to the film's suffocating sense of entrapment. While it builds on classic monster movie tropes, this story goes deeper, exploring how humans react under pressure, how fear shapes behavior, and what happens when the boundary between predator and prey begins to blur. True to the Shyamalan legacy, it also delivers a chilling twist that redefines everything that came before. With its moody visuals, haunting atmosphere, and psychological intensity, The Watchers is more than just a creature feature. It's a slow burn descent into fear, control, and the unknown. So there you have it. 10 horror films that promise to scare, thrill, and disturb you in the best way possible. Which one are you brave enough to watch first? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell for more terrifying countdowns, deep dives, and cinematic chills every week.